Welcome to episode 36. Better get your fix of the Illinois podcast. I'm here with my beautiful co-host, my favorite person, Neha. How you doing today, babe?
I'm doing great, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing good. Because I'm with you, of course. We welcome you guys. We want to just keep going and growing, keep having some fun. And let's cover some things happening right now. So obviously, football season is full in effect now, right? Like we've got week 2 has already passed.
We got some injuries, right?
Got a lot of injuries, actually. That's very well played.
Not to be mean, but that's what happens.
I don't think you injured them, so you're not mean. I mean, you're speaking.
I mean, I'm not to be cryptic, but it's just what happens.
It is true.
When you're a footballer, you gotta get in the scrum and get beat up.
You're right. Oh, look at you using your old rugby terms. You do got to get in the scrum. And a lot of people have been getting the scrum. There are...
So, Tua, how do you say his last name? Tua, he got a concussion.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he's going to be out for a bit.
Yeah, he's on the injured reserve, so he's going to be gone at least the next 4 games. And we really don't know if he's going to...
And what about, what's his name? Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
They don't know if he's gonna. Is that the Steelers?
That's Steelers. Justin Fields, ex-Chicago Bear, has been quarterback in the Steelers last 2 weeks. Looks like he's going to start again for them. As a Bears fan, I love that because of Justin Fields.
We're going to get a higher pick in next year's draft if he's playing over 50% of the time.
Yes.
And it looks like he's on pace to
do that. It's trending well. Yeah, so... We'll keep going with that. Christian McCaffrey, probably the best running back in football for the 49ers, has been out from the get-go. And again...
One of those weapons that is doing not pretty good.
Yeah, with Brock Purdy. It was still pretty good. They're also 49ers, and their backup, Jordan Mason, has done it now twice. Oh, man, I thought I could put that. Has now done it twice. Played twice for him, rushed for over 100 yards both times. But
yeah, and speaking of injuries, I mean, Monday didn't our star here at Joe, you were not Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is quarterback of the Bengals. He is safe, but Joe Weissman here, he got an fender bender, totaled his SUV. And got a couple of bruises and scrapes.
Little bit.
Bandage here.
Little bit.
Totaled his car, but one piece he is.
Yes. Some scratches, little aches, little pains. I've got probably the greatest nurse in the world.
He was not out on the field, but he was out on the road.
Yeah, you can get hurt on the football field or on the road.
More chances on the road, right? Because most of the people are not football players, professional football players.
Driving on the road?
Yeah.
That's very true. In fact, I think it's probably pretty low. It's probably pretty low.
Yeah.
But you got to be feeling good about your Chiefs, 2-0. They just played, you spoke about Joe Burrow. You just referenced him. They played against the Bengals. Bengals were up just by a couple, and then they gave the ball to good old Patrick Mahomes.
I do like Joe Burrow a lot.
Yep.
But
not as much as the Chiefs.
Not
as much as you like those Chiefs.
Not as much as Mahomes.
Oh, what up, Mahomes? So Patrick Mahomes does what he did. There was a little questionable play, a little pass interference, but that's okay. They ended up setting up for a field goal to win the game, and their kicker, Harrison Butker, who's pretty much just money. When he's going to shoot, he's pretty much money. He won the game for him. My beloved Bears, after squeaking by in week 1, got beat in week 2.
I missed the game. As we know, I am a early riser. So tell us, Joe, what happened?
Well, the Bears' offensive line is not good. And poor Caleb Williams was pressured on 36 of 44 dropbacks, highest percentage in years. That's like over 81%. Got sacked 9 times. It was between 7 and 9 times, just a ton of times.
I mean, it's only week 2, so we do have some room for improvement.
Yes, and that offensive line's got to get better. We'll see how this week plays out. They play against the Indianapolis
Colts. It's too early to say don't bet against Caleb Williams.
But
we're hoping we can start to say that.
Yeah, it is too early to say that, though. It is.
Yes,
it is
way too early, but we're hoping we can get there.
If the offensive line improves, who knows? Your team, the Kansas City Chiefs, again, just keep crushing it. Now there are a couple.
Now we are getting here, and 85 Bears defense is here, but that's the Kansas City defense is here. And,
Okay.
I mean, they're I'm hoping, and then
you're gonna hope for a long time,
and I'm hoping by the end of the year, we're gonna be here.
Yeah. Well, that's not gonna happen.
And then we're gonna be at the Super Bowl.
That's not gonna happen. But the Chiefs have what the 85 Bears didn't have, and they have arguably the greatest quarterback of all time. Chiefs have probably the greatest tight end of all time, although starting really slowly, Mr. Kelsey, not doing so good the first couple of weeks. They're winning though, so who cares? And I know he doesn't care. He just wants to win.
It's because he's in a love trance,
Well, he was in his love trance last year. He actually had his worst year last year. He was great in the playoffs, but in the regular season, it was his worst year, I think, since his rookie year.
Well, he's distracted because Tay keeps showing up at Arrowhead.
Yeah.
And then every other stadium that the Chiefs are at. So,
right.
I don't know. They need to just maybe distance themselves. But, they're in love. So
they are. And we are taping this. Sometimes we tape this on Tuesdays, sometimes Wednesdays. Today we are taping this on Thursday, which, spoiler alert, you better probably edit this when we're done here. But today we have the Jets playing against the Patriots. Jets are 2-0. Jets are 1-1. Of course, the Jets are quarterbacked by
Aaron Rodgers.
Right. And the Patriots are quarterbacked by a guy named Jacoby Brissett, who I would never expect most people. So who do you got this? 2-0 Patriots against the 1-1 Jets. Who do you got today? By the way, Jets are favored by 6 points. So right away it's 6-0 Patriots.
Well, even before you said that,
yes.
I was going to say the Jets.
You're going to say the Jets?
Mm-hmm.
What about with the point spread? So right now it's Patriots 6, Jets nothing. Who do you think is going to win the game? So let's say, again, the Jets win 10-0. They really won 10-6, right? Because the Patriots get to start with 6 points.
It would be maybe 10-3?
Yeah, what do you think the final score is going to be if you're just going to guess? So we can tell.
It would be 10-3.
You think it'll be 10-3? Really low scoring game. So
yeah, I don't see Aaron Rodgers doing that much offensively anymore. He's like a retired cow.
It's like a retired cow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hope he sees this and is like, man.
I mean,
I used to be like a Packers. What are those coats? Those
starter jackets
that I told your friend. I'm
starter jackets.
I used to have a Packers starter jacket, and back in the day.
I wish I would have known that before we got married.
You would have been stay away from me.
I'm done here, girl.
See you later.
Well, so again, if you were betting with Vegas because the Jets are favored by 6 and the Jets win 10-3, it would be good for you to bet for the Jets because then the end result would actually be 10-9, which the Jets would still win, meaning you would win the money, right? I don't know what the over-under is, so we won't go there. I'm actually going to say the Patriots are going to lose, but they're going to cover. So I see it as more like a 17-14 Jets win with the Patriots because they got that 6 in Vegas would get those.
You
extra
think
6.
that new guy Butker, right? Is that the name?
Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, okay. I
Harrison Butker was the kicker on the Chiefs.
I get around there somewhere. So Brissett, right? Brissett.
Yeah.
So he's gonna throw the ball.
It's not him throwing it. It's the fact that their running game is so strong.
So he's gonna pass the ball.
No, he's gonna hand the ball off.
He's gonna hand it off.
Yes.
And the running back's gonna run.
Yes.
And he's gonna do that twice. Maybe.
Well, no, they're going to do that probably 20 plus times to win. They'll control the.
Well, you
the whole game.
They're going to have 14.
Oh, touchdown wise, I don't know how that. I never know how the points are going to.
No, well, you said 17-14. 17-14.
Yes, Jets winning.
Right. So Patriots are going to get. You said Patriots, right? Patriots, Jets.
Yeah, going to get 2 touchdowns, but maybe the defense will score 1 for them. Maybe they'll
special teams,
or maybe they'll throw it and pass. I have no idea how.
Right. That's what I was saying. Throw it.
Yeah.
Pass it and run.
Yeah, when you do passing,
I do
people
know
can't see
a little
you,
bit about how football works.
Right.
I'm a young Padawan,
You are a young Padawan.
And, that's going to be upcoming with, Darth Vader's voice.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
Okay. Luke, I am your father. So anyways, we're going to watch that today. Also what's happened is the WNBA is wrapping up now, right? It's coming to the end.
The regular season.
Regular season.
Now it's going to get hot and
exciting. Starting Sunday.
Games.
Starting
Sunday. Cambridge Fieldhouse.
Yeah. So, we'll say it again, and I can tell you ESPN agrees. But as far as MVP and Rookie of the Year, I think both of our bets would be, we're betting that.
It's not official, but
it's not official yet.
Pretty much the deal is sealed.
Asia is going to be the MVP. It'll be curious if she's unanimous. Caitlin.
But Caitlin is third in, basically, after Naphessa Collier, she is third for MVP, which is, insane.
I think that, I don't know if ESPN has her third. I think she's, top 5 with it. I think Brees too.
Yeah, but for being a rookie to be, in the top 5
it's
of
great.
the league.
But I don't think she will be unanimous only because of what Angel did as far as leading in rebounds per game and have the double streak. But I think it'll be a slam dunk.
But we should talk a little bit about Angel's performance on, her getting the double-double, getting the rebounds. How that's just a little, she's going more for, the double-double.
You saw a video and then you just let it control yourself. Let's not do the let's not do any anti-Chicago Sky folks at all. Let's not do that.
Okay, we won't. But I think people might have gotten, who are following the league and Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, probably got a little notion of what I'm trying to go for.
Well, yeah, and I think in I guess in a roundabout way, just to kind of maybe summarize in a nice way, there's no doubt Caitlin Clark is not only the most skilled rookie, but maybe the most skilled player in the whole WNBA as far as her passing, as far as her dribbling, as far as her shooting and everything.
Where she has the most range shooting wise. She's like a quadruple threat. She can, if she gets triple teamed, she can just pass it.
So, but she's a quadruple threat. So what 4 things does she do so extremely well?
Okay, so she can pass.
Yes. She
can shoot. She can shoot it from the front court, the back court, the mid court. So that's double right there.
Okay, so that's 2. So she can shoot really well and she can pass. She can rebound.
She can rebound.
Her defense is pretty good. I mean, she's up there with steals per game.
She's good in defense, offense. So that's, we already said
and then she just has that ability to make people better. Let's remember the Fever have not won the.
She's a leader. She's a team. She's a playmaker. We already said 5 to 6 things. Yes. So she's more than a quadruple threat.
And she's got the Fever in the playoffs for the first time in years, and that's something that
8 years, 8 to 9 years.
There you go. And that's
so that's all. Drop the mic.
Okay. Sure, I guess the mic's dropped. So, anyways, the WNBA playoffs start. The last regular season games is tonight, and the playoffs start Sunday. So, we're going to be watching that too.
They're playing the Washington Mystics.
Who's they?
The Fever.
Oh, the Fever. Oh, Indiana Fever, the team that Kelsey Mitchell's on.
Kelsey Mitchell
and Aaliyah Boston.
The three-prong
attack, inside, outside, and then both. Kelsey's kind of inside and outside. Anyways,
their playmaking ability is just out of this world.
Well, especially Caitlin. She led the WNBA in assists per game, and I think she's going to end up with the most assists total of anyone ever in WNBA
and I think
history.
She's leading in 3-pointers.
3-pointers made, yes, not percentage, but made, yes, which is awesome. Which means she's just lighting up. So we're going to keep following.
Now they're talking Sabrina's old news, her and Steph are next NBA All-Star, it's going to be.
Well, we don't know.
But that's speculation.
I think we both hope that's going to be.
But every NBA star has given their flowers to Caitlin.
I don't know if everyone has. You speak in such generalities.
Almost.
No.
A lot. All the others are being what?
Right.
What do you smoke?
There's one thing you could still definitively talk about, and she's done better. But she didn't just lead the WNBA in assists per game. What else did she lead in per game? Turnovers. I'm not talking about donuts.
Okay, that might be true.
It is.
But some of those turnovers were because her passes were just so amazing that some of the teammates at the beginning could not get them. Right. But now those passes from one side of the court to downtown, Kelsey Mitchell is getting those. Lexi Hull are now getting those. At first, they couldn't get those because Caitlin is just a dynamic, like, playmaker. She's making plays from downtown, from the other side of the country. And Magic, John Stockton, they weren't even able to do those sometimes. Caitlin is coming up and above. So yeah, let's drop the mic again.
Yeah, well, unless the mic is fake news.
Mike, you mean?
If the mic is fake news, for you to say that Caitlin could do better passing the ball than Magic Johnson,
okay, she's a rookie. She's a rookie.
Accident. And she's not better a passer than Magic was as a rookie, by the way. She's awesome. I don't want to take anything away from her.
She can get
but
there.
Stop saying already she's better than these legends. That's a little cray. That's a little cray.
Caitlin is the legend. Okay, so let's just go right there and stop.
Well, I think we should go a little bit further. So you think Caitlin Clark is a better passer right now than Magic Johnson ever was?
She is good. She is just as good.
Just as good as Magic ever was? Is that right?
She can get there.
And you think all her passes in the first half, they were great passes and her teammates just missed them? But
no,
now
not all of them.
Okay.
I'm saying some of them.
Because I'm
saying some of the turnovers were due to that.
And Caitlin's amazing. And I continue to say this. I just want us to kind of temper it a little bit. I think she was a little risky with the ball. I think she didn't understand the speed of the game. I think she was a little risky playing a little bit. I think it was a transition like it should be to anyone.
And I think it was immaturity. I think it was her being new, being nervous.
Absolutely.
Being
natural to be that way.
Just also learning.
Yeah.
Also developing.
Absolutely.
And now she's stronger, better. She's going to get there.
Absolutely.
And,
agreed.
It was also just like a month she was in college and then a month later she's in the pros. So it's like that, NBA, they probably had more time. I don't know.
I always like to, though, just make sure that we give props to people in the past. I remember back in my day when Kobe Bryant was coming up and he really became like, once Shaquille O'Neal was traded, it was just the Lakers for Kobe's team. There was a lot of people at that time that were telling me that he was better than this guy. Right? Like they basically.
I'm not saying she's better than those guys. I'm saying she's just as good as those guys.
And I would say she's not yet, and that's okay. And she's amazing.
But I'm saying she's going to get as good as those guys.
I don't think that either. But I think she's going to be the best Caitlin Clark she can be, which is going to be freaking. She's got the upside to be potentially the greatest WNBA player of all time. That's the potential she's got, which is really amazing.
So I don't know why you're saying that women can't be as good as men.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all.
If you're saying she's going to be the best WNBA player,
I say she could be.
She could be.
He's the best in my mind, and a bunch of people are stupid, might disagree, but he's the greatest basketball player of all time. Most people would agree with that.
So you don't think there's going to be a woman that might be better than him?
Great question, because I don't want to sound like a jerk. I think.
You kind of are already, because you're just.
No, I think maybe.
You don't think there's going to be a woman born like. So maybe today.
No, she might be playing for USC right now. By the way, so I'm not saying that. Yeah. I think actually
Juju Watkins.
Juju reminds me more of Mike and stuff. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying there's like, for instance. So actually, let's go there because I don't want to sound like a total misogynist, right? So there's another sport called tennis, and I know we don't really cover tennis or anything like that. But when I think of like the greatest tennis players, I think of some men that are like, oh, whatever. And I don't really know all the tennis names. I wish I could even think of what.
Andre Agassi.
Sure, but there's guys even known better than those guys. Like right now, Roger Federer is one of them. There's like some guys that have like 20 plus, whatever. If you would ask me who I think is the greatest tennis player of all time, I would say without a doubt, without even thinking for a second, I would say Serena Williams, a woman, is the best overall tennis player than any of the men that we could reference. Okay, so I don't want me to say like there couldn't be. I'm just saying this guy was a whole nother deal right from the get-go. Like, even when his teams were horrible, he made the playoffs his first year, too. Even when they sucked, it was just evident. Magic Johnson would admit this, Larry Bird would admit this, guys that were playing at that time. They would say he was the best guy, defense, even though teams, offense, everything.
He was just balling on
That's why I'm saying
minute.
I don't see Caitlin becoming as good defensively as Mike. Yeah. Now, she can shoot better, Mike.
I'm not saying Caitlin is, she's not crazy like the way. I'm not saying Mike is crazy in a negative way.
No athleticism.
He was just like
everything.
He was just
mentality.
Yeah, he was
next level.
Owned the court.
Yes, people got scared when they would like start playing when they knew. Oh, Michael would go. Michael one time, Dominique Wilkins is one of the greatest basketball players of all time, played for the Atlanta Hawks, right? Told a story about how Michael Jordan walked into the locker room before the game, to the Atlanta Hawks locker room. And he said, "Who's guarding me today?" And they said, the person's name, went over to the guy's locker. He said, "Lace him up. It's going to be a long game." He ended up with 60 points. My whole point is Mike was he was like an alien. Do I think Caitlin could be amazing and awesome and potentially even the best women's player, which seems so freaking much, even to state that? Yes, I do. In my mind, I'm a Chicago guy too, but in my mind, that's like, I think he's the greatest in any sport ever. So, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to go there. Now, do I think Caitlin could be as revered as Kobe Bryant or Magic Johnson or whatever the guys, or Diana Taurasi or, Cheryl Swoops or
Lisa Leslie?
Absolutely. And I think there's a lot to be said for that. So we're going to just keep watching, and I don't want anyone to try to dismiss Caitlin at all. I'm just trying to temper my beautiful wife's statements that seem to be a little auspicious when, again, we've got this guy. He's the biggest one, by the way.
No, I'm not saying I'm not saying she's great as Michael Jordan.
Right.
But I'm saying she could, in a year or two, be as great as Magic Johnson.
She could.
Or, John Stockton.
Absolutely.
He was like top 20.
Agreed. In her sport, absolutely.
But I'm saying, I'm just, really rooting for women, for
Yes.
young girls, to aspire for that. I'm being messenger or like a, leader.
Advocate, and I think
advocate for women. Just be like, hey, girls, we can do it. Caitlin can do it. Caitlin's
Agreed.
already like top 5,
Agreed.
top 3.
Yes.
So let's just get on this bandwagon and, cheer for Caitlin. Keep just pounding this because she's doing amazing. Who cares? She has a few turnovers. Okay, maybe couple more than a few, but she's getting better. She's doing such amazing things. Like every week, she's breaking records. So let's just be like, yeah, she's great as Magic. She's great as John. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year she will be. She's just constantly getting better. So let's just do it.
I can't completely disagree with you. I can't disagree with you. We're switching gears really quick, and we'll just talk briefly about this. Baseball is coming to an end as far as the regular season as well, so it kind of lines with WNBA. And it doesn't look like Aaron Judge is going to break the American League home run record that he established with 62. It doesn't look like he's going to beat that. He's going to only end up with 50-something. We're still waiting to see if Shohei Ohtani is the first player ever to go 50-50. I think he's got 47 home runs and 48 stolen bases, or it's inverse, and it's
when are do the playoffs already start?
No. They still got like a week or so left, right? So we're coming to.
So the women's basketball is shorter season. Because there's less teams, I'm sure.
No, but women's basketball is very short, and because of that, yes, absolutely. But
they are getting more teams.
Even the men's basketball is like 82 games, and the baseball's 162. Like baseball's the longest by far, longest season.
Yeah, they play a lot of games.
They do. So we'll see if Shohei can get that 50-50. Of course, 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases would be the first player ever to do it. So it's exciting to see that. And Yankees, water's wet, and the Yankees made the playoffs again. I know they just clinched the playoffs. So I wish I was born in New York sometime.
But you don't have to live in the same state or city of your favorite team.
Well, that's huge. So I would love, we could go there. I don't think we got enough time to go that route. I actually believe you do.
Maybe another episode.
I believe you do.
No, you don't. Because I grew up in another place. I had different circumstances. I didn't become a fan from my baby years or my toddler years. I became a fan later in life. So
a lot of it has to do with proximity, though. So I understand that. If you're in one state, but like it's closer for you to go to like a Cardinals game than it would be for you to go to like, Cubs or Sox game or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
No, so I get it. So it's more proximity. So it doesn't have to be state. I think it's proximity. Yeah. I think it's whatever's closest and most access.
I was a Cubs fan, but that was just because I was a bandwagon fan. When I became an adult, that's when I started paying attention and even realizing what was good or not.
Top three favorite.
White Sox, one time. Who cares? Cardinals, like 10, 15 times. So yeah, it makes sense. Okay, let's go on.
Top 3 favorite Cardinals, Miss Cardinals fan. Top 3 favorite Cardinals of all time. Okay.
Adam Wainwright.
Both guys were like so. Okay.
And
but I said favorite.
Yeah, Adam Wainwright, Michael Wacha.
Oh, Waka.
Chris Carpenter.
Oh, so all pitchers.
The young guns. I have like a 5-guy poster somewhere, but
nice.
Well, But there was a few months I was mad at the Cardinals and the Kansas City Chiefs. So I gave away most of my paraphernalia.
Nice. That's really good to be reactionary like that.
It's how, women work.
I don't know.
Some women are very emotional. So
well, as we kind of come to the close of this, and speaking about baseball, I did want to mention the fact that we just lost James Earl Jones, and James Earl Jones played such a huge role in one of my favorite movies called Field of Dreams.
And he's also the voice of Darth Vader.
He's not only the voice of Darth Vader, which is awesome. He was also the voice of Mufasa in The Lion King, the cartoon version.
So he's been in actually several cool, awesome movies that are like major hits.
Absolutely. But he was just a really cool guy, and
yeah, he's an awesome, wonderful guy,
and a beautiful voice. Like a baritone. I wish I could talk like this. Luke,
yeah, I mean, not the most favorite character in Star Wars, but definitely like an essential part.
Probably the most essential voice. And again, so really quick, just kind of talk
about. Was he the breathing too? Like
he was. I just talk really quick about a movie that he was in that was my favorite, and I already referenced it. I'll do quick with this because Neha's really dominated this episode. So let me see if I can get a word in edgewise, because all she's doing is talking. She's like, I got some of my people watching now. I'm just going to talk 95% of the time. Anywho's, yeah, really, you kind of dominated this one, but you also crushed it. I love that. But I just want to talk a little bit, if I may. Can I talk, please, for a second? Field of Dreams. So this guy, he owns a farm. He hears these voices say, if you build it, it will come. So then all of a sudden he figures out.
His dad like a baseball player?
We don't find that out yet. So he kind of hears these ghosts and stuff, and so he tears down his cornfield in his farm. He builds a baseball field. Then he hears other voices like, go the distance. And he's like, what the hell's going on? So then he kind of cruises out. He finds that he needs to actually run into this author named Terrence Mann, played by James Earl Jones. Goes there, kind of kidnaps him. Not really. He has like this. He's like, you better pull over. And then James Earl Jones finds out that it's really not a gun. It's actually his finger. But he goes with him anyways. They go to a baseball game. They both see this thing about Moonlight Graham. Then they go search for Moonlight Graham, find him. He's old. He's also dead, but he's still old. Then he disappears. Then they start headed back to see his wife, Karen, who's awesome, and the little girl. She's such a little cutie. And they go back to the show, and they pick up this kid.
Cutie and cute girl.
Yeah, like a little cutie little girl. Little cute little girl. Really, really adorable. And they pick up this young man along the way. His name's Moonlight Graham. What he really is he's the ghost. Moonlight Graham getting picked up. They go there. They play. We got Shoeless Joe Jackson. We've got a bunch of awesome guys.
He's a real player, right?
Shoeless Joe Jackson, yeah, he actually was one of the 8 guys in the 1919 World Series that threw the game and were kicked out of baseball because of it. Awesome movie though. James Earl Jones has this amazing soliloquy. I'm not going to do it, but it starts like this: "People will come, Ray. People will most definitely come." Anyways, at the end of it, Kevin Costner's character. Hold on, really quick. At the end of it, Kevin Costner's character plays catch with this catcher that's a ghost, and the catcher's name is his dad, but his dad doesn't know it's his dad, but he gets to play, and he goes, "Hey Dad, you want to have a catch?" And every man that's ever existed, that's ever had a dad, gets a little choked up at that scene. And you see them playing catch, and then the film ends, and you see all these people coming, and they save the farm, and everything's cool, and everything works out well. And let me tell you a little something, see it. Also see, as you reference, all 3 Star Wars that matter.
Lion King, the first 3,
yes.
That is 4, 5, 6.
Yes. And also
A New Hope.
And he was in another baseball movie.
And The Return of the Jedi.
And he was in another baseball movie called The Sandlot that it wasn't really my jam, but it was probably more your time. Great movie too. Thank you guys so much. Neha, take us home because you've been taking us the whole time, girl.
Bye guys. Have a great week.